Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and lead instructor for CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the instructions in the video description.
And the villain, he opens up under the gun for 20.
Okay.
Somebody in middle position, they call, and I'm on the button with down at 2 black queens. So
Okay.
I put in the raise to 85.
Queen of spades, queen of clubs, on button, 3-bet to 85, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Villain calls, and the guy that in middle position folded.
So your head's up.
So I'm heads up.
All right.
Flop comes out 10 of clubs, 9 of diamonds, 10 of spades.
10 of clubs, 9 of diamonds, 10 of spades. Is that right? 10, 9, 10?
Yep.
All right, so 10, 9, 10, you have 2 black queens. It's a 3-bet pot. The pot's like, what, 180 or something like that? Okay.
Yeah. Villain checks over to me, and I decide to continuation bet. Make it easy on me. Throw a black chip in with 1 red chip, 105, kind of control and count the pot down because, I mean, a lot of these guys, they were playing with a lot of red chips, and me and the villain had basically blacks and greens, so I wanted to, use the bigger chips to count the pot easier on the go. As soon as I bet 105, he clicks it up to 325.
So he makes it like 325. Just a quick aside, we've talked about this a little bit too. I don't know who this villain is, and I don't know, maybe he does call with offsuit 10s from under the gun, but just one of the, just a very quick way to look at this is that you've got 2 black queens. The board is 10 of clubs, 9 of diamonds, 10 of spades. You actually have the worst suits in your queens to have. I mean, it's just a very minor consideration. If you had 2 red queens, that means that if the villain was not calling a 3-bet with offsuit queen 10, which he shouldn't, he can't have any queen 10s. Here he can have a couple of queen 10 suits. That's just obviously a very, very small thing. He can have a 10 here. He could be fast playing pocket 9s. There was a guy in the middle that called initially, like you said, right, which lends it to be less likely that he would have aces or kings as a slow play, although it's definitely possible. I'm certainly not folding now. Those are just the things that would go through my head here.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Am I folding here? Does he really have it?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that I almost was like, do I want to put a raise in here? Like, I don't know. I don't think I have another, a re-raise back.
The board is not really draw heavy, right? And you block the primary draw in the fact that you've got queen jack, and there's no flush draw out there. It would be a pretty big exploitable fold on the flop. I have made this fold right away on the flop, probably not recently, but it's not as crazy as one seems because it would be like, what is he bluffing with here? Because maybe like 7-8 suited, but like the king queens and the queen jacks, king queens with like a backdoor, like you're blocking a fair amount of that as opposed to you having like aces or kings. And people don't do a whole lot of check raising in 3-bet pots anyways, but I assume you call.
I call, yeah.
Okay.
So we go to the turn, and it's a 6 of hearts. He checks to me, and I'm just like, I'm like, I don't know what to do right here. I just got check raised, and I don't want to get, bet check raise again,
Yeah, I don't know. On this card, when 7-8 comes in now, obviously you could put out like sort of a reverse kind of block here where your hand needs a little bit of protection just because it's a lower overpair. So you'd probably want to tend to bet more of your queens here than your aces and your kings. You've gotten check raised. I mean, the pot is about somewhere around 830 to 850. I mean, I don't hate a check back, but I also don't mind a small bet too of like 300 for a little bit of equity protection / value. I think it's probably close, and I think that you can bet sometimes and check sometimes too. Because if he's just got an air ball, he's just going to fold, right?
Right. So if I put out another bet of, say you said 300, 350 or whatever, and he just comes over the top, then I guess at that point you're just like, what are you beating? And you kind of just let it go.
Well, I mean, you should have some bet folds, I feel like, on the turn. Okay. And I don't know, this guy, but I mean, I've played a fair amount of 5-5 now over the last 6 months
So
during my challenge, and there's
there is
not
some
a whole lot of
information that I
spots that I'm gonna.
do have on the guy. I guess he receives phone calls and text messages when there's bigger games coming, like 5-5s or bigger, like 2-5. So he initially was coming over for the 2-5 game that ended up breaking. I played some PLO with this guy before. He does buy in deep.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, I was told he plays more online, but he will show up for the bigger live games.
Mm-hmm. So what did you do?
So I checked it back on this
Okay.
one.
I think that's fine.
River comes in, Barry Greenstein, ace on the river, ace of hearts. This was the ace of hearts, not the ace of spades, but yep. And then the villain leads out for their 450.
So V1 bets 450 into a pot of like 850. Is that right? Something like that.
Pot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're getting like 3-1. Or yeah, just you got to be good here 1 out of 4 times. This is probably one of the better hands that you're going to arrive here with on the river, because I don't know if you're bet calling like your ace highs on the flop all that much. If you're betting them, if you're calling them without a backdoor. So it's tough for you to run into a single paired ace. I mean, this is what we talk about when we look at what we call MDF here. Like, well, if he's betting half the pot, then you're supposed to defend here with, if he was betting the full pot, you're supposed to defend with half your hands. If he's betting half the pot, you're supposed to defend with, 66% of your hands, because he's risking about half the size of the pot, so his bluff only needs to be good 33% of the time. Now you look at pot odds, you're getting 2.5, close to 3-1. You need to be good here 1 out of 4 times. I don't know. I mean, I don't really make a ton of hero folds here. I'm trying to think about something that you beat when the ace comes here on the river. If he had checked me on this river, I would have just checked it back and tried to go to showdown. I mean, I sort of have an inkling. I mean, I think you're probably beat. Would I make a hero fold for this sizing? I don't know how much the ace really changes things. I will note, though, that there are sort of new lines where people, maybe not on this particular board, but if somebody were to have like ace jack with a backdoor on the flop, I've seen those hands in those computer simulations be check raised, like ace jack of spades. So if you like some of the worst ace highs that don't have showdown value against like an ace king and an ace queen, if he like ends up running into an ace and he's good enough to value bet, that's the only thing really that the ace changes. If he were to start some sort of bluff on the flop with an ace high backdoor, and if he's doing that at 5-5, like I said, God bless him, but that would be more of a reason to fold. I'd go. This one could probably go either way with me. I don't think it's a slam dunk fold or call, so I think it's probably pretty close either way.
Yeah, I was stuck in a spot. I would probably tank for a good 45 seconds to a minute, and then I just decided to pitch it. So
okay.
And obviously, every poker player in the world says I had it and I had you beat, and I'm like, okay.
So you never found out what he had?
No, I'm pretty sure it felt like a 10. It felt like a 10, and then this was me playing it back in my head. Was maybe he was trying to let me catch up. Maybe he was putting me on some type of floater or something. And
well, you will see sometimes people make that play where they'll go check raise and then check turn, but yeah, I mean, it does kind of suck that you do block most of the primary bluffs, and then also too, that bottom end gut shot gets there on the turn. If somebody's structuring their check raises correctly, but a lot of people don't do that with those hands anyways. This is just like a 10 or nothing, but it's sort of weird that he's just going to bet into the ace too, which is the kind of the inevitable sort of scare card, unless he specifically thinks you've got kings, queens, or jacks. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty close. I wouldn't really fret over it. I wouldn't really fret over it either way. It's too bad that you don't know. Try to get that guy to tell you what he had next time. Yeah. But thanks for the call. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.